And Lauren, I'll unmute you in just a second. Okay, so I just wanted to welcome you guys to the call. I'm super excited. It is recording. Yay! I'm super excited to be together as a team. I've always dreamt of a team all over the United States. Just this year, I started dreaming of a team outside of the United States, and we really had to build our momentum here before we can go anywhere else. And so I love seeing that literally like all of us are in different places, which is so cool. Some of us are a little closer than others, and some of us are in completely different time zones, which is so neat. So I know that some people are watching the recording later, and I just wanted to welcome you to our call. We will have these once a month just as our own central team. And as we grow, what I want to have happen is for you guys to be able to train for my team and be able to step up into that leadership role. And we're going to have a couple people on our team train tonight too about some things that I think will just really hit home for y'all and help a whole lot with what you can expect in your business. So the first thing I wanted to tell you guys is, first of all, guys, we're moving. This train is completely like out of the gate. We can't slow it down if we tried. We're not going to try. We are moving because if we slow down, other people wouldn't be able to go with us, right? And so if we continue on this path that we're moving on, we're going so other people can go too. Because when we build a vision bigger than ourselves, other people can come alongside us. And that's what we've been doing. We got this close, I kid you not, to qualifying for Region last month, which was probably the most exciting thing on the planet to me. Even though we didn't hit it, I was like, oh my word, like, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. And it wasn't just me. There have been so many months in my business where I felt like I was the only one working, and seeing you guys show up on this call tonight, I know we're all working, and that's such an encouraging thing. And it's so fun to be doing this with so many more people than just myself. And guys, I'll tell you, I'm going to talk about consistency tonight. I'm going to talk about discipline. I'm so thankful I held on. I'm so thankful that I didn't slow down or put my business away or say, you know what? Oh, I've been doing this for 6 years. Why haven't I given up yet? I'm so glad I didn't do that, because your faces are worth it. This time in my business is worth it. All the frustrations that have happened in the past, and the good times that happened in the past too. So we are moving to Region this month. We will qualify for Region this month. I've got zero doubt, and it's just a matter of making sure the numbers pop up in web stats, really. So really excited about that. Guys, we have people in qualification for the first level of management. We have people in qualification for the second level of management. We have a new area manager. We've got 2 new district managers on our team. We're almost in qualification for Region. Our team is moving, and it's so exciting to see that. See, Patty's a new district manager. I don't think anybody else on here is new anything yet, right? It's happening. I can feel it. So what I asked a couple people on our team that have really just shown up and stepped up to the plate to train tonight. And I've been in a lot of communication with these 2 leaders on our team, and I could not be more excited to have you guys get to sit at their feet and hear a little bit about what they're going to share tonight too. The first one's going to be Sweet Lauren, and Lauren is direct to Harley. She's in Weatherford. And Lauren, how long you started the business? I'll unmute you because I said I would. When did you get started in the business?
Middle of February.
Okay, perfect. So Lauren started in the business in February, and Lauren immediately was coachable, asking so many questions. But what I had seen, because we're all on Voxer, right, and I can hear it, I heard this switch in her voice. Like, I was like, what is she doing? I need to know what's going on. And she's going to tell you what she's been doing. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear it, because there is something very different going on in her business. And she's going to see the fruits of her labor. And she already is, because she's moving in that direction. And that's why I wanted you to hear from her, because I can hear it in her voice. And she needs to be sharing that with you guys. So Lauren, I'm going to let you take it away. But I could not be more proud of the things that are going on in your business right now, and what you've decided to just jump in and do. So I've got my notebook. I'm ready to listen and get trained too. So go for it, girl. It's all you.
Oh, this is weird. Okay. So I just wanted to paint a little picture for y'all of just how my life was before and kind of what R1 looked like for me. back in February whenever I signed up. I was like, oh yeah, I want a Benz, just like anyone else would want a Mercedes Benz, and that's kind of all it was for me. I came to the monthly Zooms. I probably came in late. I would come to the monthly meetings that we have in Edmond, and we'd leave right after that. It wasn't any short of staying or anything like that. I constantly was comparing myself with other people in their business. Like, if y'all know any sort of Harley story, like, she has jumped in the business and gone. Like, that's just it. She's gone. And I thought, because my walk did not look anything like hers, that there was no way I could be successful or that I was going to be successful. And really, it just like hurt. And kind of Harley and Jamie again can attest to this. I definitely had more downs than I had ups. I can't tell you how many times I would Voxer them with tears flowing and very upset. Just because like I got one no, or I would overthink something, like whatever it may have been, like they talked me down from the little Arbonne ledge. And like what really killed me is like I didn't have any family support. That was out of my control. But I kind of like, as I'm talking, I hope y'all will see that by my mind shift, I did gain my family's support. So my inflection point, and that is from the book On Fire, that's a point where you are deciding to change. Like what's coming next is going to be pivotal. And what that was I went to a monthly meeting at Edmond, and I heard Alyssa Lovett, who is by far, like, look up to her. She is so great. And at a monthly meeting, she said that she was tired of no one knowing her name or who she was. And that clicked with me because I was at my second or third meeting, and I was like, that's me. Like, no one here knows my name but the people that I talk to on my little, like our little team. No one here knows a story about me. No one knows anything. I'm sitting in the very back, and yeah, I'm taking notes, but that's it. No one knows me. And it honestly, like, punched me in the gut. Like, I felt like I've been working so hard, and no one here knows my name. And the fact that Alyssa Lovett could feel that way too really hit home with me. So I took her advice, and she said that you follow the people that you want to be. So that's exactly what I started doing. I probably, like, I set my mind on it, but I didn't realize how to act on that until Jamie had actually posted the SoundClouds that have all of the calls that you could ever need to really lift off your business. They're on the Success Line page. I think they're still the pinned post. And I went through like a week kind of like listening to one here and there. And then I realized that instead of listening to music in the car, I could listen to the DM calls or whatever call I was listening to at that time. So instead of listening to the same song that I'd heard 1,010,000 times, I plugged myself into the SoundClouds. And a couple of them that really hit me was Getting to DM by Danielle Pearson. That one just really gave me the big picture, and it kind of inspired me. She had some big numbers mentioned in that honestly scared me. But as I've been really learning, unless your vision is scaring you, it's not big enough. And the next one was All In by dear Alyssa Lovett. And in this one, she gets so emotional, and that it just really hits home that, like, unless you have a strong why, you're not going to persevere. And that's kind of what I think hit me the most with all of this, is that I never had a why. I don't have a family to support. I'm only a college kid, and I just felt like I wasn't big enough. Listening to that All In call really helped me to realize that I do have a purpose, and my purpose is to help people and serve them. And if I can provide them some financial freedom, then I'm going to do it. And that's my calling. The next one was 30 Asks program, and that was by Sky Nation Calls and or training, sorry. And this one is all about making sure that you are plugging in with people and that you are giving them those asks, and you're asking them what you can do for them and all kinds of stuff. And it really just gives you tons of verbiage, and that has helped me immensely. The next thing I did was I actually prayed for my business. My spiritual life, like, it's hard for me to pray because my mind goes in 20 different directions at once. and sitting down and actually praying for my business and praying for my team and all of that, like, it really helped me to figure out what was important to me. The next thing that honestly I'm sure all of us here are already doing, but like stay connected to your upline. If you ever have any issues, like they are here to help and they do it greatly. So if you are ever like hitting that roadblock, go ahead and talk to them. Like that's what they're here for. And the next thing I actually started doing recently within the last like week or so was tracking my 90-day cycle. And this has really helped me to figure out if what I'm doing is actually important for my business or if it's actually just something teeny tiny, but I count it as a big thing because that's all I'm doing for the day. So it really helps me to see if I'm actually being productive or not. All of these things really just enabled me to change my outlook. I am having way more ups than downs. I still don't know what I'm doing sometimes. And I will talk to my upline and everything like that. And they just help me, like, set me on the right path, like, good to go again. And honestly, I've noticed I've kind of stopped comparing my walk with other people just because I know that I'm on the track that I'm supposed to be on. And I'm in qualifications for district manager right now. And it was very weak qualifications, honestly. I just scraped by. And at this last monthly meeting in Edmond, they give away feathers for strong qualifications, for promotions, for all kinds of stuff. This is my third meeting in a row, and I did not get a single feather. And I worked so hard last month, and honestly, it brought tears to my eyes. And it was really hard. Like, I am so, so proud of seeing, like, my teammates go up there and get one. But it's kind of just like, why me? Like, why am I not getting one? Like, it was so frustrating. And even in the car ride back, like, honestly, I was trying not to cry the whole way. And then it kind of hit me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pray that, you know what? I'm going to be doing a training someday. Literally later, if that, what am I doing right now? So I just think that is so crazy that I literally prayed. I didn't have a feather, didn't get recognized or anything, working on people knowing my name, but I had zero to show for my effort in like a materialistic, like, better way. And I was like, you know what, God? That may not be my walk, but I hope that I can maybe do a training. That would be so cool. And here I am. So I would definitely encourage y'all with that if something else isn't working for you, definitely maybe pray for a different opening in another area, and you'll get there eventually. And a verse to kind of back this up with everything, just to wrap it up, what I'm saying is just that Proverbs 20:24. And this says, man's going are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? And that just hit me because I try to micromanage my whole life. And so by doing that, I'm trying to control my walk and my way. And that's not how life goes. Man's goings are of the Lord. So, and not by Lauren. So that was just a major encouragement to me. Like, I didn't have any outrageous QB last month. And it was just, I don't know. I worked hard and everything like that. Maybe it's just not my time, and I'm planting those seeds, and God will grow that later. And another story I have to share is something that has come up literally almost every single day since I have completed this little mind change of mine, and it has been the manna and the Israelites, and how the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness, and every single day they were provided with the manna they needed, no more and no less. And this story is so accurate in Arbonne because every month we have 30 days, and that'll either break or make our QB for a month, whether that be in sponsoring and sales, whatever that may be. We have 30 days, no more and no less. So I just kind of wanted to lead y'all with, like, what are you going to do for these 30 days, and what are you going to take that is going to be just one day and no less. You're not going to take more, you're not going to take less. And honestly, with all of this, I would just say that where I used to just sit back and maybe complain, I now try to lead my team. I don't try to compare. I'm a blue, so I love control, and I'm really trying to give that up. And with all of this, like, you're still setting goals and you're trying to achieve them, but you're trusting that God has better timing than you do. So I think that's all I have. Thanks.
Oh, Lauren, you did so good on your first training. And look at that. What you think about, you bring about. And guys, I wrote so many notes. I love that she enrolled herself in Rolling University. It's what I like to call it. She's in the car and she's learning and she's going and she's growing. She realizes I can just switch out my time. Guys, we do that with our business. We just redirect our time, or we change how we're using our time, or investing our time in what we're investing it in. I'm sorry, I don't watch Netflix binges anymore. I just don't. And I don't really care that I don't, like I'd much rather be building people. I'd much rather be investing that quality time in my team, in new people, in people that want health and wellness. I don't want to be spending that time watching somebody else be successful on TV. In a crappy TV show. Sorry, I just don't. And Lauren chose, okay, yes, these people are already successful. They've got a great song. I'll listen to it in a few months. Right now, I need to mind my mind. Another thing that she was talking about was the SoundCloud. So it's on my Facebook page. It's on Alyssa's Facebook page. It is a list of calls. And I know several of us have talked about this before, but guys, the success rate that you see in your business grows exponentially when you're listening to something that minds your mind, that takes care of what you're thinking about, because it's truly what you think about, you bring about, and it helps you gain confidence. And Lauren has that confidence now. That's why she's not affected by the downs. She says, I have more ups than downs. She probably still has the downs, but the real thing is that she doesn't have the low lows, because her confidence level is a lot better. And it's because she's being breathed life into. And it's so important to do that. I will have times where I'm like, like last night, I did this Facebook Live, and one person was on it, and it was my consultant. And I was like, dang it, like, that's not what we were hoping for, obviously. I acted like there were 50 people on that. They all wanted to join my business. But I got off there and I was kind of bummed. And just like Lauren had said, you know what, I'm going to mind my mind. I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. I'm shutting my phone off, and I'm going to read something that's going to lift me up, and I'm going to mind my mind. And this business can all be in your head if you let it. So why not mind the place where it can be? The other thing that I love that you said was that you prayed for your business. I used to think that was kind of silly, right, Lauren? Kind of like you said, like, I don't know, I get distracted. Or guys, I've never seen God's faithfulness more clearly than when I write down my prayers. And it's not just in my business too, but when I start focusing on my business and start praying and believing what God has said about me, it shows up in my business, and it shows up in the other areas of my life. And I pray over it, and then I get to go back and look through, because I journal it too, and I get to see His faithfulness, which is such an amazing thing. But one thing that you stuck out, and I was like, oh, that's good. You said, I'm not so focused. It's like that teeny tiny thing that you did for Arbonne that day seems like, oh, okay, well, I did something for Arbonne that day. But it was like the one thing, and it might have been teeny tiny. Now it's more of a consistency thing. You're going to see a theme tonight. And when Amber hops on here too, she had activity tonight, and that's why she's training. She's been in a lot of activity. But when she finally gets to hop on tonight, we're going to have her train. So I'm going to go, and then I'll have Amber go. But again, Lauren, thank you so much. You did such an awesome job, and we're so proud of you and so excited for you. And I will tell you, who gives a rip about the numbers right now? When you are focused and you're determined, those numbers show up. I actually have proof of that on my little notepad here. So I'm going to start my training for y'all too. And what I really wanted to share with you guys was consistency. And if you were with us a couple months back, whenever I did a training for our team Zoom just like this, I talked about the 90-day cycle that Lauren's kind of referencing. And really what we're talking about, guys, is give it 90 days at least. If I had given it just 90 days, I probably would have quit. um, because some really amazing things happened for me on day 96 and then day 98 and a few days after that 90-day cycle. But what I had decided in my head was, okay, I'll just count down from 90. And then I'm going to start another 90-day cycle. That was 6 months ago. I'm in my third set right now of 90 days. I'm like on day 80 something. So I'm really just starting my next set of 90 days. But what that means is the work that you're doing right now shows up in 90 days. So where do you want to be 3 months from now? Do you want to be promoted to area manager? Well, we work for it today. We don't work for it 3 months from now. We work for it today. Who are we talking to today to make that happen 3 months from now? Right? So we get this vision really clear. Guys, so my vision got very clear in November of last year when you guys weren't even a blip on my radar. Got very clear last year in November. I was working my booty off, I thought. And I was trying really hard to grow a business, and I had been for several years. But there were some things that I was missing. And there are two things, and I want you to write them down. Discipline was the big one. Some of you are so much better at this than I am. But the other one was consistency. It was discipline and consistency. And I will tell you, you really shouldn't have one without the other. Because your consistency needs to be disciplined, and your discipline needs to be consistent, right? You can't really have one without the other. So when I decided in November, after having one of my lowest months of the entire year last year in October, in November, I sat with some friends at a retreat that I had earned, and really probably shouldn't have even have earned the retreat because I was like, I got nothing for you. Like, nothing's happening. Guys, I didn't even hit like my $2,500 building block in October. And in November, I go to this retreat, and we ended up bonusing in November, which means I hit $5,000 in sales in November, okay? And I had decided in November that I was going to start tracking my 90-day cycle like Lauren, and that I was going to start being consistent with it. So when I say tracking, it just means, measuring or writing things down or remembering what you did, or saying, okay, so today I'm going to work on 3 things for Arbonne. Well, tomorrow I'm going to work on 3 things from Arbonne. So I started doing that in November. In December, our sales actually went down, maybe by $400, okay? And then in January, they went up. And then what happened in February? So I was starting to track this 90-day cycle. February is where, right in the middle of February is when my 90-day cycle hit. In February, we doubled from January to February. From February to March, we didn't double, but we grew by a whole nother chunk. From March to April, we almost doubled. We were like 2,000 or 3,000 short from doubling in our volume. Guys, would you like to kind of see those numbers happen in your business? I'm just going to tell you, it's consistency plus discipline. It is literally doing what it takes to go district manager again and again and again and again. So right now, I'm just trying to go district manager again and again, or area manager again. And because I've done those things, I know how to do them. I'm not just shooting for region or nation, but I'm trying to be consistent in doing the things that I know how to do on a repeat basis without wearing myself out. So I've got a good analogy. Today, my daughter and I and my son went to the park, and our parks, we have 5 parks in our neighborhood, so awesome. You can walk to them. And my daughter was very tired and moody, and she's probably still not asleep because she's ornery, but she wanted to ride her bike there. He wanted to ride his bike there. So we go. On our way back, I was like, oh my word, this is so me. This is me and my business, my Arbonne business. I stay the path. I'm continuing to walk because I know if I put one foot in front of the other, we're going to get home. It takes maybe 10 minutes to walk home from the park. They're on their bikes. I'm walking. They can get there faster. And my son is like a little dog. He's riding, and then he stops and gets off his bike and throws a rock in the water, and then he gets back on his bike and something else distracts him, and then he gets back on his bike. But he keeps us really positive attitude the whole time. Doesn't matter if he's getting distracted or not. And I'm staying steady Eddie, the wise one, right? The mommy. I'm staying steady Eddie. I'm just going to continue the path. And I have to redirect Paxton every now and then, my 2.5-year-old. Okay, stay on the path, stay on the path. Then I've got my daughter who's incredibly tired. Okay, I don't know if you can relate to this, being tired in your business. Anybody relate to that? Like Lauren said, I'm working so hard. I'm working so hard on my business. And sometimes working so hard on our business can sometimes just be in our head too, right? We got to get out of our head and we actually have to get out and do something. But she's hanging over her handlebars and she's like, oh, Mom, I'm so tired. And at first she had sped past all of us. She was flying. Can you relate to that? You come in and flying out of the gates, your business is going awesome. And then she's like, hanging over the handlebars. And my son is like, la, 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 la. And here's Mom coming along, steady Eddie, okay? Guess who got home first? Okay? And the other one, like literally, she's dragging her feet and she's whining and she's crying the whole way. But if she continued to put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front, instead of stopping and throwing a fit and then going, and then stopping and throwing a fit and then going, having a bit more positive attitude like my son. Guys, basically what I'm saying is you can treat your business like an emotional roller coaster like my daughter does, and like I did for years. I treated it like an emotional roller coaster. Man, I'd come out swinging, I'd be so excited, and I'd give this big, big push this first, or really the last week of the month. And so I did all that work, and so I'm super tired. So the first week of the month I took off. And then I had to gain momentum again. I want to read you, this book is so good. And guys, if you're not reading, pick it up today. Just start anywhere. Ask me some book recommendations. But this one's The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. He's an incredible author if you've never read anything of his. But this is, there's one entire chapter on consistency, and I really could probably just read you the whole book, the whole chapter, because I was like, oh, I want to train on this. But he says, motivation gets you going. So motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. Discipline keeps you growing. Motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. So, yeah, we all got home. Fine, just fine. I didn't leave a child at the park. I wanted to, and I definitely wasn't going to carry her. But I still encouraged her along the way. So as a leader too, as you grow your team, encourage those people who are losing their steam, okay? And show them, I just continued to go. She went because I continued to go. She didn't want to be left at the park either. She was going because Mommy stayed consistent with it, right? And I just kept putting one foot in front of the other. Another really awesome quote, and I want to kind of piggyback on discipline, consistency, but also your why. Guys, your why is so important, because sure, discipline and consistency are great, but if your why isn't big, it doesn't tug on your heart, you're going to stay stuck like me for a very long time, and I want to prevent a lot of that for you. Honestly, how many of you think, you would say, and I'm just going to turn it to a different view here so I can see you guys, but how many of you would like to say, I'd love to be where Jamie is right now. I'd love to be almost to region right now. Like, guys, moving and grooving, sponsoring people. Someone messaged me the other night. I was like, hey, I'm ready to start my business. I was like, where'd you come from? Cool, let's get you started. I didn't reach out to her, guys. And that doesn't happen. They don't follow this guy every day. But I can only speak for myself. Sure, all of us would love to be where Alyssa is, right? But this is what I did, and I want to kind of show you that. But I will tell you my why. I didn't have it connected to my heart for a long time. I did Arbonne for a lot of the wrong reasons. They sounded good on paper, but they were for a lot of the wrong reasons. So my why plus discipline plus consistency is what's gotten me to where I am. So honestly, if your why isn't big enough, discipline doesn't happen. Habits don't get formed. Goals aren't reached. Okay? I want you to take a really good, hard look at your why and think, is it going to move me? Move me to pick up the phone. Move me to ask someone to get their friends together so I can share Arbonne with them. Move me to hear someone's need and stop listening to my own. Because the minute my why changed, it became about a lot of other people. For me, I remember crying about it, and I was like, oh, I found it. Because I will tell you, once you get emotional about it, you found it. Once it starts to kind of choke you up a little bit, you found it. And you're going to have to change your why often. They didn't tell me that at the beginning of my business. So my why stayed the same for a long time. Your why is going to change because you're going to meet that need, right? You're going to get the $500 check. So then what? Why do you keep doing Arbonne? We have to shift the why a little bit bigger. My why is I want every single person to have what I have. Choices in their life. So and that moved me. That was a big one. And I also want you to think too, I've had so many trainings on whys, and they've all been so impactful and so incredible. I remember one where we put on Post-it notes, 16 different reasons why we were doing the business. So we could put our 4 reasons were family members. So we got to put 4 people on there. And another one was, think trips you might take or whatever. And slowly but surely we had to take away those whys. And that really pulled at me like, okay, no, wait, which ones am I hanging on to? What's the thing that's hanging on closest to my heart? I will tell you, if your why isn't connected to your heart, you don't really have a reason. We gotta figure out what it is. Everybody has a why, okay? But this one, the more tuned in you are to your purpose, your why, and the more dedicated you are toward growing toward it, the better your chances of reaching your potential, expanding your possibilities, and doing something significant. I want to be known for doing something significant. So here's the other thing, guys, that I wanted to share with you. I'm going to rewind for 2 seconds, but I want a little show of hands too. Again, if you're on video, if you were given a choice between taking $3 million in cash right now and a single penny that doubles in value every day for 31 days, which one would you choose, right? So maybe this is mentally, number 2, right, Patty? Smart. So if you've ever heard this analogy before, the penny's the way to go. This is the compound effect. This is what happened when I married discipline with consistency with my why. This was the compound effect that you're seeing right now. That's why we doubled. That's why we almost doubled. That's why we almost doubled again. That's why we're almost going to double again. Okay? It doesn't have anything to do with brand new products coming out. It doesn't have anything to do with $39.50 sign up. It doesn't. It has everything to do with the duplication effect that we started several months ago, that consistency, that discipline, those habits being formed. So if you had chosen the penny, that would be worth $10,737,418 versus $3 million by the end of those 31 days. Why is it so hard for us to take the penny? Because it's little. Why do we think it's so hard for us to think, okay, Jamie's telling me what to do, but I don't believe her? Yeah, but. Guys, it is little. It's 1 phone call every single day, or 2. It's 3 asks every single day. It's 1 sample drop off every single day. It's consistent. Right? When we stop that consistency cycle is whenever we start losing that. So if you've never read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, I highly, highly, highly suggest it. It's really short and it's so good. And it'll help you stay disciplined. It'll help you stay consistent. There's a couple other things that I wanted to read to you out of this book from the growth chapter on consistency. So guys, life goals are reached by setting annual goals. Annual goals are reached by reaching daily goals. Daily goals are reached by doing things which may be uncomfortable at first. Anybody uncomfortable? That's good. Stay that way. Stay uncomfortable. If you're not sweating yet, we need to get you there. But eventually those uncomfortable things become habits. So that's why we have to grow our why, right? Because we reach the goal. Habits are powerful things. Habits turn actions into attitudes and attitudes into lifestyles. Because that's what we all want, is a lifestyle, right? We want a lifestyle. We want to be able to live the way we want to live. So we chose to do Arbonne. Here's the other thing. I want you to think about these questions that I'm going to ask you. This is your why test, okay? This is your why test, and then I'm going to hop off here and let Amber kind of train a little bit too. But the why test is, I want you to answer the following 7 questions, or then it's going to let you know if your why is solid enough to motivate you to consistently grow. Okay, and growth is a very awesome place to be in. Trust me on that. Okay. Question 1. So you're going to answer these just in your head. Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Question 2. Do you require coaxing to do small chores? That's me. That's me sometimes, right? I don't want to do the dishes. Do you perform duties just to get by? Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Do efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead? Do you start small projects and abandon them? Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? So if you answer yes to many of these questions, you haven't tapped into a strong enough or big enough why to keep you growing. Guys, basically, this isn't something to make you upset about yourself. It's actually to identify these are uncomfort zones, right? If I'm having to avoid if I'm self-improving, I have to get vulnerable. I have to be authentic. I have to be real. If I have to start a project, that means I have to give of myself, right? Or if I have to perform duties just to get, like, if I have to go above and beyond, I might do it wrong. This is just showing you where you might be vulnerable. It's not a place where you need to start harping on yourself. It's a place that you need to go, okay, I just need to lean into that. It's simple. You just need to lean into that, okay? So 2 things that I really feel like are vital to success in your business. Obviously, discipline, consistency, your why. It's got to be big. If you need help on that, work on that. Talk with your upline. We're here to help you do that. But Lauren touched on it so well. Guys, plug yourself into trainings. Plug yourself into trainings. If you're driving, if you're washing dishes, if you're folding laundry, if you're vacuuming the floor. I literally have noise-canceling headphones. Sorry, kids, I do. I have noise-canceling headphones, and I listen to that while I'm cleaning, and they're just screaming in the background, and I'm getting training in. Okay, it's whatever. They don't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen to screaming. So you do that. But guys, I start my day and I end my day the exact same way, and I'm going to give you some tips on that. Start it before anybody else can tell you when to wake up. And what time is that for you? It can be whenever. For me, I didn't let my kids wake me. I don't let my kids wake me up anymore because that just drives me crazy. It started me out in a bad mood. So I wake up around, but anywhere between 5:30 and actually 5 and 6:30. I don't have to. I choose to because I take time for me. And I read from my Bible first things first because nobody needs to start the day without Jesus, a lot of Jesus. And then from there, I read a personal development book. I journal my prayers. Guys, I get this solid quality time. What was so awesome was when I went to GTC, one of my absolute favorite trainers is Anique Dean. She's in Canada. She's under Deanna Herron, and she's National Vice President. She's incredible and hilarious. And she said, this is how I start my day. And she basically went word for word how I start my day. And I was like, I can be a National Vice President. Guys, when you're on that path, when you're reading those success books and you're going check, 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 it gives you so much motivation to keep going and staying the path. You just have to start the path. So get up, start your day with some personal development. So maybe for you, reading might not be the best thing, but listening to audio is. Start your day that way, okay, before anybody else can tell you what to do. Then the thing that I do in the evening is I write down things that I'm grateful for every single night. And I will seriously, if my husband's already turned his light off and I've turned my light off and I forgot, I annoy the mess out of him and I turn my light back on and I write my things that I'm grateful for, and then I close my book and I go to bed. You need to show some gratitude for what's going on in your life, okay? And you need to show some gratitude because it makes you more confident that you'll have some things to write down tomorrow that you're grateful for. Okay. The other thing I was coaching Lauren, talking with her on today was write down the 5 things you're going to do for your business tomorrow, the night before. What 5 things? Make 3 of those asks. A host, ask someone to host for you, ask someone to take a look at the business, ask someone to purchase product or try product, not even necessarily even purchase product, but try product. The other two can be an activity you've already got scheduled, or a sample drop, or something else, right? But what 5 things are you going to do for your business tomorrow? And do that consistency. But the hard thing is disciplining yourself to do that, right? But stick with it and you'll get to see those rewards. So I'm going to hop off here and let Amber kind of hop in. I hope you guys got some out of that. I know Amber just got done with the spa party, so her brain's probably all over the place, but I'm super excited to have her train. The reason I asked her to train is there's been a giant shift in Amber that's taken place. She just promoted to area manager, which is so exciting. Guys, she almost did halfway region last month. That's gigantic. We had so much recognition at meeting, they barely even got to recognize any of that. Like, her team is just exploding, and she's really taking on this leadership role, but she also knows how important it is to have her own personal activity. And so she literally was at a party tonight, and she's going to coach and train you guys on how to fill your calendar, because I know you guys want to hear this. So I'm really excited to have her train. Amber, I'll unmute you, and I'll let you take over here.
Okay. Hello. Hey guys. So yes. So basically, I think there was a mind shift, mind change that went on with me. Went to GTC and filled my mind with, with all the awesome stuff that they were training us on. And basically I started getting into books and stuff. And I think, Jamie had talked about, you need to read, you need to get your mind into things, and basically what I did was, like, instead of thinking of the things that I didn't want to happen in my life, I started focusing on where I wanted to go. And so basically, sorry, let me switch rooms here real quick. Everybody's going to bed. But, so anyway, instead of focusing on the things I didn't want to happen in my life, which was what I kept on focusing on, and I wasn't getting anywhere, I was spinning my wheels, I decided to focus on where I wanted to be. And so from there, that's where I started to see change happen in my life, and change happening with my business. And it just started taking off, and trying to change that positive mental attitude, just instead of focusing on the negative. And that's where where it really took off, I think. And then going to GTC and plugging myself into that and all those awesome trainings. But basically what I did with these spa parties, with the spa parties, Jamie had sent out a text, and it was like kind of a sample text. And so immediately, like when I left GTC, I was kind of fired up and ready to go. And basically I shot that off to, I don't know how many people. I think I sent it to 10 people, and I got 8 yeses, which that never happens. So I don't know. People are pretty excited about the spa products. And what I found, I booked, I think I've got 7 on the calendar right now. But from there, when I talk about my why and I talk about my passion for the nutrition, just the first party I did, I've got 3 people that want to do the nutrition kit. So I'm like, woohoo. So anyway, that was pretty awesome. And just, I've had a really positive, experience with that, just sending off that message to people are wanting to do that. And then it's kind of plugging me into, getting them to do parties, and it's getting them. I even had one girl tonight that wants to sign up to do the business. So woohoo. I mean, part of it's for the discount, but I know she's going to go far with it too. So it's pretty exciting. So anyway, I would just encourage you guys, when you hit obstacles and you start facing those, what you're going to do, just like Jamie was talking about, push through them, and don't quit. When you get a no, just keep pushing through it, and it's going to work out for you. So keep that positive mental attitude going, and you're going to go far. So there we go. Sorry, that was kind of rushed, but
You are totally fine, Amber. And I know I was like, I'm sorry, I'm asking you to train on the night that I know you've got a party. But so Amber, I sent out a text to the girls that were actually everybody that was at GTC with us, and told them, hey, you can send this text out. It actually works really well to get spa parties booked on your calendar. And if you want that text, let us know. We can help you get it. I even posted it to Alyssa's Facebook page the same day. So it's probably lost in a million different, conversations. So we can pop that back up there. But Amber just ran with that. And she was like, I'm filling my calendar. And guys, she went halfway region last month. She could sit back if she wanted to, but she's choosing not to. And her business is going to continue to grow because of that. And I know, here's the thing, we were talking about this earlier today. I've been talking to several people about this earlier today. It's not fun to fill your calendar. We don't like asking people to host for us, right? Like it feels like we're having to ask favors of people, and we're independent and we can do things on our own. But what Amber realized, and through that text, is we actually go and we serve people. We go and we serve people. What I want you to start thinking is, how can I be a blessing in someone's life? I know, and I was talking to a girlfriend today saying, hey, okay, so who does the business? I said, okay, so if I, called you and said, and I knew you loved Arbonne products, and I knew you were crazy about them, and I told you, hey, I really feel like you might need to want to get your friends together, because you might not know, but our Host Rewards get you up to 75% off your order. And you could probably get that bag of protein you really want from me for a way better discount just by getting some friends together. Anytime, especially with 6 years into my business, someone asked me to purchase product and they're wanting a discount, I ask them to get their friends together because I know that's the best deal for them. From that, I have sponsored so many people because I asked them to get their friends together because they're in a network of people I don't know, and I'm doing them a service by giving them the best discount. I will even tell them, I will give you what you want for free just for getting me in front of your friends. So if it's that bag of protein or whatever, I did that last month. And I've got a girl who's really interested in the business from that party last month. So I just want you to remember that that activity is going to grow. And what Amber was talking about too was, you are going to take that activity and you'll book off of bookings. So if you fill up your calendar, you might only have to do the work once. You don't have to get back on the phone again because you play the games at the parties to where you get to book off of the next party and you book off the next party because you're playing that game to continuously book off of parties, right? We want to make sure we're doing that so you aren't having to ask for friends and family all the time to take care of you. We don't want to do that. We want to get outside of that network. And so playing those booking games is going to be such an important thing. So if you don't know about any of that stuff, that's okay. We're going to teach and coach and train you that. But get with your upline. They can help you with that too. Guys, again, I thank you so much for taking some time out of your evening to get on here. I'm so thrilled that you did this. I promise you, staying connected is one of the keys to being successful in this business. And I'm so proud of you for hopping on here and doing that. Like I said, we're having an incredible month, and I'm so excited about it. And guys, I just see all of you just leading your own teams, having these for yourself. I want you to envision that. I want you to envision, when are you going to have your team Zoom? When are you going to get to do your training calls? When are you going to get to step up into yours? Not just train on mine. When are you training on yours? When are you leading your own? I want you to imagine that, because when your vision grows that big, that's what happens. Those people come. They come. Trust me. Okay? And stop telling yourself, yeah, but I'm going to leave you with this because I did it over and over and over again, and I want you to just hear me on this. I used to think this. I would hear trainings like this, and in the back of my head, whether or not it screamed at me or whispered at me, I heard, yeah, but. Like, yeah, but you're cute. Like, everybody likes you because you're cute. And of course they want to host with you. Like, you can talk really well. Or, yeah, but you have this great network of people that you're talking to. Or, yeah, but you're older. Or, yeah, but you're younger. I can't have what you have because... What are you telling yourself? What lies are you telling yourself? Flip that. You can have what I have. I'm not any different than y'all. I have failed. I have failed. I have failed. And it's okay. I got back up. They were all lessons learned. They were all lessons learned. So I could be here right now sharing them with you and continue to do that. Okay? So quit telling yourself, yeah, but, you know, like, yeah, I know this thing like works, or yeah, I know they go to Maui or whatever, but that's only for like these kinds of people. That's not true. It's just not. Every single walk of life can have this. All you have to have is that consistency, that discipline, your why right in front of you. Because guys, what happens is you get formed in the process of being an excellent leader. Because you're reading enough books and you're growing yourself enough that along the way, don't wait for that day to come. Go make that day come. Go make it happen. Do that along the way. Figure it out along the way. It's okay to step out and go, I have no clue what I'm doing. Go practice it anyway. Go share the Arbonne story anyway. Okay? Again, thank you guys so much for getting on here. And I hope you guys have an awesome week. And I'm sure I'll be seeing your sweet faces very soon. Bye, guys.